Hello, my friends, and welcome back. All right, folks, let's get real for a second. When it comes to sex, the finish line gets way too much attention, right? But what about the journey? Oh my God, that's where the real magic happens. And for women, that journey usually takes about 20 to 30 minutes to really heat up, right? Men is like a microwave. Women are like ovens, okay? The preheat is different. So today I'm talking about blood flow. We're going to dive into why foreplay isn't just optional, but essential, and really how to make those minutes count. Quick stat alert, friends. Clitoris has 8,000 nerve endings, double that of a penis. But for it to deliver fireworks, it really needs time to wake up. Hey, my friends, welcome to Desire Dialogues. It's your sex coach, Lauren, getting into the nitty-gritty of why foreplay matters, all right? We're going to talk about the science of arousal, all right? So how arousal works. So let's talk about the vagina first, right? So when a vagina owner is aroused, blood vessels in the pelvic area dilate, which is going to increase blood flow to the genitals. What happens then is it causes the clitoris and the labia, the lips, to swell. And then the vagina lubricates, and the tissues become more sensitive to touch, right? So that process takes about 20-30 minutes on average, but stress, fatigue, and distractions can slow that all down, right? But unlike men or penis owners, arousal can be a little bit more instant, right? A little bit more spontaneous, a little bit faster. Well, actually, a lot of bit faster, actually, right? So think of it this way, if someone is a responsive desire, okay, there's two types. There's spontaneous and responsive. The responsive, their arousal builds after stimulation begins, okay? So think of it like preheating an oven. You wouldn't toss in a frozen pizza, right, into a cold oven and then expect a gourmet meal, right? The same thing, like the body needs time to warm up for the best experience. It feels better after 20 to 30 minutes of preheating, right? So why rushing doesn't work here? When the vagina doesn't have sufficient arousal, sex can actually be uncomfortable and even painful because there's that lack of elasticity. There's that lack of lubrication. And the emotional connection can also suffer if one partner feels like they're not given the time or attention they need. Or they just stop having sex because they're not getting it. Or they go ahead and have sex when they're not prepared and it's painful and they resent their partner. Oh my gosh, I've heard the stories. Hey, guess what? I've been there myself. Hey, if foreplay is not just a prelude, it's part of the main event, all right? And foreplay is more than just physical. It's about engaging the mind and the emotions as much as the body. So women's arousal is highly influenced by that mental stimulation, that, tease, right? Anticipation, and the emotional connection. So how about some foreplay tips and techniques to maximize the pleasure? First things first, number one, set the mood. Dim those lights, play that music, light some candles. Maybe you can suggest a playful ritual, which is sharing a glass of wine together, getting in the tub with some nice smelling bath salt. I got the best bath salt. Oh my God, I'll share with you. Email me bath salt. Oh my God, it's fantastic. And also too, all the toys that I do sell, they're all waterproof, so you're good to go, right? So you can totally warm up and start your foreplay in the bathtub, together or alone. Totally up to you, right? So foreplay starts way before you hit the sheets, way before. Think about how you can build that anticipation through the day, right? Number two, non-sexual touch. So maybe a back rub, holding hands, right? Really, this touch should feel safe and slow, sensual, and absolutely not rushed, right? You can explore areas like the neck, the shoulders, the thighs, the lower back, because those spots are actually richer in nerve endings. Number three, sensory play. Maybe some ice, some feathers, some silk scarves, right, to kind of engage those senses. You could also experiment with temperature play or blindfolds to heighten sensitivity, right? Your skin is your largest organ, okay? Don't neglect it. Number four, clitoral attention, my friend. Quick reminder, right? The clit is there for no other purpose except to serve you pleasure. Loads of nerve endings, okay? The only reason it's there is pleasure. So please don't ignore it, right? And the clitoris actually, it's the start of the show, okay? I believe it was 70 to 80% of vagina owners need clitoral stimulation, direct clitoral stimulation to achieve orgasm during penetration. So if you are not tickling the skittle, yeah, you should. It can definitely enhance the pleasure, right? So if you're already pleased enough with P and V, adding in clitoral stimulation can be fantastic. So that's the thing. It's like the clitoris with its shaft and glands to become fully engorged, which actually intensifies pleasure. It takes time, right? So tip for your partner, use hands, mouths, toy, and really focus on slow circular motions, okay? Not too fast, not too hard, really gentle. And your partner can always take their hand and put it over yours, and you can show them, guide them, show them what you like. And it's okay if they don't get it, right away. It's practice. Number 5, kissing and eye contact. Oh my God, never underestimate a good fucking makeout session. Kissing is actually one of the most intimate forms of connection, and it really can build arousal like nothing else, unless you're kissing a frog, right? Definitely, hit me up. I can give you some kissing techniques. I got you. Building emotional intimacy is super important. So you can do that sharing a compliment. Express your desires. Maybe send a text earlier in the day, right? Taking a moment to connect emotionally goes a very long way. So foreplay is much about, it's as much about feeling wanted, and adored as it is about touch, right? So our third section here, let's talk about some pre-sex rituals. Help you set the stage, right? I really want you to talk to your partner about what you enjoy or what you want to try, Example, hey, I love it when you kiss my neck. Can we start there tonight? Breathing and relaxation can really play a big role. You really need to transition, it's like a de-armoring, shaking the day off, right? Transitioning into being there with your partner, right? But sometimes you have to transition from work to be with yourself, and then from being yourself to being with a partner, right? So it's a 3-step thing that I go over so much more deeply in my membership called the Pleasure Collective. Lots of rituals and ways to really make the rituals feel good for you and what your body needs, and just a way that it's easily understood, and a way that you communicate with your partner so nobody's feelings get hurt, right? So when you relax, your body's much more responsive to touch, right? You're not jumpy because you're waiting, you got reamed out by your boss. I also love a good connection and mindfulness session. You can take a few minutes to gaze into each other's eyes or just hold each other in silence. So sex isn't just about getting naked. It's about getting vulnerable, right? How about exploring some new scenarios? Maybe, suggesting role play, a new location. Novelty is a natural aphrodisiac. So when you keep things exciting, you have something to be excited for, right? When you create anticipation throughout the day, really helpful. There's your foreplay right there. So flirty text, compliments, maybe a surprise kiss. These can all, a nice little ass grab in the kitchen. These can all really help set the stage long before physical foreplay actually starts, right? So segment number 4. So why foreplay is a win-win? All right, better pleasure for both partners, a win-win. So foreplay increases overall arousal for both parties, right? Or all the parties involved, right? Leading to more satisfying orgasms, right? Satisfactory sessions is what I meant to say, but I jumbled my words. So satisfactory sessions. That is a big deal to leave satisfied. And notice how I didn't say, a fantastic orgasm, right? Satisfying session. Pay attention to the journey, not the end destination, right? When we, have that foreplay, it really can make things more fulfilling. Your body's more ready. Your mind is more ready, right? And when you have these foreplay talks with the text and the compliments, you're improving communication, right? You're showing your partner what you like to have in your foreplay, the things that, help help you decompress and help you rev up, right? And it's a confidence booster too, because if they're going to, reciprocate that to you, they recognize what works for you. And that gives you that feeling desired and cared for during foreplay, right? That enhances your body positivity, your self-esteem, and your willingness to do it the next time, right? So my friends, foreplay isn't just the appetizer. Oh gosh, golly, it's part of the whole main course, right? So when you give yourself and your partners like that gift of time, really helps take your intimate state to the next level, right? I really encourage you, to try a new ritual or technique, right? So what technique do you desire to try this week? And send me an email, right? So my friends, remember, great sex isn't about racing to the finish line. It's about making every moment count. So now go forth and take your sweet, sexy fucking time. Oh, and if you want more rituals, I got something for you. I have a fantastic membership called the Pleasure Collective. This is where we together create your personal pleasure user manual. It is with 4 different key components: your initiation style, your desire type, your love language, and your blueprint, your erotic blueprint. These are all the things that turn you on, turn you off, and like really define you, your body, your pace, your anything, everything, you personally. Because guess what? Like, you're not a cookie cutter person, right? It doesn't work that way. You're not in the movies where you have an orgasm in 3 seconds. You require certain things. And that is like a basic core sexual need. And I'm so sick of people just shutting down, not sharing that because they were told they weren't supposed to talk about it, or they don't even know what the things are that they want because they've been so ashamed to even look into it. Your pleasure is your birthright, right? That's yours. So if you're looking to claim it, I invite you to lean in, right? I hope you allow pleasure and desire to be more a part of your life. And all the links are below. I'd love to see you in there. Cheers, my friend. Till next time, be sassy. And again, slow it down. Foreplay is good for you.